Oh god, that was a piece of shit movie. Oh, why did I do that? Christ, alright, where's my keys? Fuck. Where the hell are my... Holy shit! Alright,
You
so...
look like you're wearing your underwear on your head.
Alright,
Yeah.
we saw
Your underwear.
We saw Slenderman because Jay wanted to do a jokey thing, and he's gonna do the jokey thing. Are you actually? You've already seen it. You've already seen it.
Are
Because
you
of the
happy
magic
now?
Of that. This fucking movie. It's so boring. It's so
really
boring.
This movie.
If it had more scenes that I would be able to laugh to, maybe sometimes, maybe it would be worth it, but
Maybe
nah.
no. What this movie is, if we could talk through this movie, right? If this was on our couch, right?
Yeah.
Then this would have developed the Room syndrome really fucking quick.
He has no face.
He has no face.
They didn't do enough with that. Like, they have one scene where the girl loses her face, and it's just a mind trick. I'm like, no, people losing their faces is legitimate. Like, have her walk into, like, a crowd of people with no face, and they all see it and freak the fuck out.
But
that's how you do that. But no, it's just a trick.
they spent all of their
that's
CGI
how
budget on that one
To be
thing.
fair, that's how that works. I mean, it's not like he actually takes their face. No, they're going crazy. That's how the whole, I hesitate to say, lore of this entire fucking internet hoax was, but...
Internet hoax is kind of a harsh word for they knew it was false.
It's internet folklore, basically.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean,
I'm
the
speaking-
setup was good. All the setup
disagree.
was good. The execution sucked.
See, I disagree. I think this movie actually had some decently creepy visuals and some
The only good parts was when they're watching the video on their phone
No.
and he's ghosting through the fucking house.
I there was a couple scenes where like there's like
Shut
some
up.
like surrealistic imagery. There's a lot of camera tricks. There's like they try really hard to make the sound of wood terrifying.
Oh, really terrifying.
But
Oh.
that's the problem. There's some good surrealistic imagery because this is PG-13, can't have blood. There's
Oh
some
shit! It was only PG-13.
Yeah.
I just put that together.
I thought it was just PG.
Right?
They didn't even have blood or nothing.
This is a movie meant to scare like 12-year-olds.
So, but that's
Not
exactly
even.
there's some
Not
good
even.
there's some good payoffs, but the problem is the build-up sucks. So you're never like well prepped for a scare.
I was saying to Trey,
There were
if
no
we were
scares
watching
in this.
Friday the 13th at like halfway through the movie, 5 people would be dead already. There'd be
Yeah.
like 20 chase scenes, and we would see the killer front and center.
There'd
But
be
no.
there'd be a scene of blood gushing out of a bed and pooling on the ceiling.
There would have
Hooray!
been like 10 jump scares,
Oh,
and they
and
would have been good.
Like
On
a
the
meat
topic
piñata.
of chase scenes, like in classic, and I hesitate to use the word horror fashion, the 2 chase scenes we got, if they can even be called that, ends with the scared white girl tripping on herself.
Oh yeah, I noticed that in the last bit. And Slenderman gets like a robotic skeleton backpack.
I mean,
He
can-
became the Iron Spider. That's all that happened.
yeah.
like, that was stupid.
But the bit
Okay,
where
that aside, can we at least agree that the Slender Man himself actually looked alright in this?
they
No.
didn't shoot him well, but if that design had been filmed more effectively, yes, Slenderman has an inherently creepy look and
I'd
would have
say-
made for a good movie.
I'd say it was
Presentation just
uninspired.
didn't happen right.
Like, all you got to see, really, of detail was, like, the cloth on his face, and
Well,
that was it.
It
was
helps
just a
if you
big
don't
suit.
see more detail.
In
like,
horror?
At least
I
not
disagree.
until the end.
Yeah, but we didn't even see any detail at the end. All we saw was his face.
It's a cloth over her face.
See,
Yeah, that's it.
I was looking for, and this movie did a lot of like bad things in terms of cinematography, but
I'm sorry, but you can count the whole movie as bad cinematography.
yeah,
Did
but
you, wait, hold on. Did you notice that in all of the night scenes, whenever they changed shots, none of the background noise would change, as if you were like.
yeah, the
remaining
sound
in
effects were really bad.
Oh my. God,
Did you
they
notice
are.
no one visited anybody's
Like the
house during the
cricket.
day?
Yeah,
That was the other
Let's
thing.
wait until night to do this.
You know, they could have just avoided Slenderman almost completely if they just fucking moved somewhere else that didn't have woods.
yeah. Again, this
Go in the
movie.
middle of the fucking desert.
The movie tries really hard to make trees scary, and it doesn't fucking. Even when she's in the library, that is one of the most wood-paneled libraries I've ever seen. Just so that there's more terrifying wood
I mean, it was
everywhere.
a nice
That's not even
library,
what
though.
makes Slenderman scary, at least in the game, not in this movie, but in
But
the game.
it's-
Okay, who
It's
all
like-
here has played Slender
he's
the
over
Arrival?
there. He's over there. I
That's a
played it.
huge missed opportunity. I was checking for him in the background. He was never in the background unless the camera was drawing attention to the fact that he was in the background.
And he never.
That's the problem.
If he had been
I
s-
just put that together.
If he'd been stalking them in more normal scenes where you actually could have missed him,
Where it
'cause
wasn't like, oh, there he is, there he is, there
there's
he is.
there's no music. The camera doesn't center him like it did that one time with the big shadow, and they're all like
How about
awkwardly
this?
to the
Oh,
left.
God, yeah.
How about if at some point past the first video watch or past the first girl, what was her name, Katie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After the first girl went missing, for whatever reason, they started taking pictures of themselves or whatever. If he just suddenly started showing up in the background of those photos, that could have worked.
Like that-
Or if they were selfie obsessed, and then we have a scene at the end of the movie where they go back through,
in your car.
where they go back through their selfies, and they're like, "Holy shit, he's been following us this whole time."
Like, what they
in
should
the
have done is that
first selfie?
that end picture, right, where they saw all four of them together.
No, hey,
he
you're
should have been
blocking
in
the
that
camera.
fucking picture.
Yeah,
that would have
yeah.
been fucking
There's like a million and a half ways they could have done it better, but they know they chose to like fucking have an uninspired thing where it was like
I don't even know what they
hour
were.
and 30 minutes.
I don't even know what they were
this
doing
is very
in that
simple.
hospital.
This is very simple, okay? What happened was is Sony bought the rights for fucking Slenderman or something of the sort, right?
They cocked it
And
up.
They said, okay, how can we make money? That's all that's happened.
Yeah, their $50,000 in budget
Let's get
was
some
like,
air in here.
so it was gone in like 3 scenes.
It was-
because, ooh, spooky effects.
Spoopy.
And
Spoopy
these
effects.
were better.
Spoopy.
These
I
were
like
better
that. Spoopy
surreal camera effects than you see in a normal jump scare-a-thon. Like, someone in this movie was trying, but they weren't pulling it off.
There was
And-
one person
It
who
was
was
like-
putting in an honest effort, and nobody else cared.
It was like one push. It was like one person trying to push a car up a hill. Okay,
Like,
it's
what
not gonna work.
What even was that hospital scene where like everyone at the counter stops and stares at her, and like there's like a obviously fake Slender Man, but it's a doctor. Like that entire
That's the weird part about it.
that
Wasn't it?
entire
Yeah, I mean,
hospital
you saw
sequence was
the
weird.
you saw the doctor's coat flap, and obviously that's not fucking him. It's just some tall, skinny fuck.
Like, I didn't even know what was going on there. Like, it just didn't even make sense for the movie.
half of the scenes were like, why are they here? What are they trying to communicate? But because I sure as shit didn't know.
Like, okay, and so, like, what's the theme of this movie? Oh, the theme is that the horror is viral, and when you talk about it, you spread it to other people.
Oh yeah, and like
One,
at the end there, where they start
Yeah,
talking about
which
how
hold on.
this is how viruses work.
that's...
Hold on. They didn't even fucking go into that. There were only like 5, 6 characters, and among them, only the 5 or 6 were like talking about it. Nobody else.
That's not how viruses work, that's how memes work. And
Exactly.
two,
Wow.
that's just Freddy's gimmick, where he only exists if people know of and are scared of him. Like, that's just Nightmare on Elm Street. You're just stealing that.
Well, I mean,
It's
what do you expect for uninspired garbage?
It would be honestly creepier if he existed, he was born of the internet, and that was it. Like, there's nothing you can do about him. It doesn't matter if you know about him or not. Once he is summoned, he's in the area and can get you through the internet, even if you don't know about him.
Can you take me through the internet through Pornhub first?
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
They were the girls were watching porn together in
Oh.
the basement in
Yeah,
that
the
before
porn
that
scene.
started.
Dude, the setup for that was supposed to be like, oh yeah, this is high school now. It's like, motherfucker, these bitches are like smoking weed and doing drugs and
Well,
watching porn
drinking
together.
alcohol, but
Well, look, the point is that I think it was trying so hard to relate to like, oh yeah, this is what high schoolers are doing now.
granted, we don't know what high schoolers are doing now, but
Yeah, that
we've
was
been
10
out
years
of-
ago for
yeah.
me.
Fuck.
5,
it's been a while.
7.
It's been
7
too
years
long.
ago.
We're old as shit, okay?
It's
I'm
been a
older than
while,
all three of you.
but that was not what high school was like.
Yeah, I didn't have dissecting classes in my high school. What the
what
fuck?
the fuck was that even?
Yeah,
No biology classroom in a high school is equipped that fucking well.
I mean,
At least
I
in a
dissect-
regular
At least
high
not in this
I
state.
dissected pigs at Providence, but
Did you get to eat it?
no.
Why the fuck not?
Because they have to cook it first, you moron!
Well, because-
You're gonna cook the wasting
the-
good bacon.
Because the
is a
pig,
sin.
Because the pig was first
was
of all
it was a baby
still
pig.
yeah, it was a baby pig,
Oh, it was a piglet.
and it was like drowned in formaldehyde to preserve it. Like,
Oh,
don't
well,
eat
yeah,
that.
you don't wanna
okay,
eat
well,
that.
I didn't know that part. Wait,
That's-
why would they put it in for? Just kill it.
So that they
preservation.
can hold on to it for those classes.
Just kill it.
Whatever.
I'm pretty sure it was dead.
It was absolutely dead, and the worst part about the dissection was breaking its jaw
Cool.
to get at the
What
whatever.
was his name? Tom, right?
yeah,
the boy.
Tom!
Oh yeah,
Like,
there's
nobody
one.
fucking knows
The half the no not even halfway, the 2/3 through the movie boyfriend suddenly.
Oh god, that was so forced.
Promise you won't watch the video. He watches the video off screen between scenes, shows up freaked out, weird marks on his arm, and that's it. Goes fucking nowhere.
It's not
What about? Wait! Hold on. What about the what was her name? The one with
sister?
the curly hair?
Oh,
Katie.
Red. Okay, Katie
Oh,
was
no,
the first
not
one
the
to.
redhead.
Chloe, the black
Chloe,
girl.
Chloe.
Yeah.
Black girl. Yeah.
Yeah, like she didn't even go fucking missing or anything. Oh, they just said she was sick.
and her
now,
mom was like, "Oh,
she's
stay
disappeared
away."
now. Bye.
P.S. to anyone who noticed
Out
that.
of the movie.
P.S. to anyone who noticed that her coming out of the movie saying "I lost my shoe." That was a supernatural reference.
Ooh.
I know,
Whoa.
right?
Wow. I'm.
That does
Wow.
not do supernatural justice.
I know.
I can't even think of a high schooler who would sit down in the woods for that, hear that shit, and not just be like, "Nope, I'm out. I'm out."
Fuck Billy. Billy's dead.
Right?
Also, why didn't anybody bring a gun? Why?
Okay,
Wasn't
yeah.
there firearms at all ever?
Okay. At that point, like by
This
the end
is
of the movie, I'm
America.
thinking, look, you have two options: either try to talk to him and like trade yourself for your friends, or fucking hit him. I mean, you're probably gonna lose, but try.
Die fighting.
Yeah, what was
Thank
that
you.
Like,
thing?
there's a way to win in Slenderman. Why didn't they use
What was
that?
that thing
Run
where
up and-
she's like, she's come to the woods to sacrifice herself, she sees Slenderman, screams,
And then runs.
just stops, and is like, "I'd like to trade myself," and then he grows the spider tank on his back, and then she runs again, and it's like, wait, wait,
that
wait, wait,
pissed
She
me off.
runs.
wait, I thought you came here to sacrifice yourself, why are you running? Sacrifices don't run. Sacrifices
Way to
walk.
be a martyr.
Sacrifices walk
Remember
up
in
to
the-
the altar.
Remember in the early woods scene where like two of them fucking tripped for no reason? They were just holding on to each other. Like, oh, we're just gonna sit. We're gonna sit. Nothing else.
There was more than one scene where I think Ren flashed her flashlight right at the camera, and it was legitimately in the theater blinding.
Yeah, like fucking seizure warnings, please.
Yeah.
Oh no, there
At least
were seizure
4.
warnings posted at the
No,
ticket box.
that was
and
for
on the door
Incredibles
for
2.
the movie.
That was for
No,
Incredibles
no,
too.
did you not see it?
I didn't see that. No.
Yeah, at the ticket box and at the door for the movie.
Because
Like-
they're irresponsible, obnoxious jackasses, and the movie theater had to warn people instead of the movie itself.
You know what I would have loved? To see this movie in like this sort of like rundown theater where everyone talks at the screen. During that for this movie, I think would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, do a
So
midnight
what, Rocky
screening.
Horror?
Yeah, do
Yeah,
a
basically
Rocky-
like Rocky Horror this shit.
Why
I
not?
could see that working. But there's just so much
like-
dead air in this movie.
I know.
I
Well, that's
wouldn't
because
even
that's
fucking
why
want to
you,
give them the money then.
that's why you need to have a movie theater you can talk in, so you can go, "Oh, that bitch is dead! Oh no!"
Or like,
Oh, I so
there's
wanted
that
to scream
whole,
that.
and there's like
Alright.
not.
But wait, there's not even enough points to really
There's
even
not
say,
even-
"Oh, she's dead."
There's not even
Like
a
3 or
plot.
4.
Like, now that I think about it, like, okay, so there's like that entire sequence in the library where Ren finds a book by someone about biochemical things, and then she's like
And then
highlighted
it went
it.
nowhere.
And then it went nowhere. I'm like, so what is the plot of this other than spoopy time with high school girls?
Well, that part went to the whole, her mental stability is breaking down and she is seriously freaking out.
Yeah, she had a
but,
mailroom
like-
wall.
But
Oh,
that
like,
didn't.
what the
But
fuck
that
happened
didn't
to the
show
book?
up until like the fucking end, where we saw her bedroom and she's got all those conspiracy pictures labeled up, wires going in.
But what about the book? What about the book? What happened to the whole book?
She
I
had
thought
to give
that
it back.
The solution or whatever.
Maybe Slenderman ate it to get rid of the evidence. Who the fuck cares?
She had to give it back. You know, it was a library book. You gotta return that shit.
That she vandalized, by the way.
Oh, yeah, fuck that
They do
shit.
not like that.
No, I hated that shit in college with the used textbooks. I'd get them and they'd be like, oh, I highlighted this section. It's like, you highlighted a whole fucking paragraph. Why did you do that? Fucker. How does that help?
Okay, no shit. Back in high school, when I was renting a book from the library for a test,
I haven't.
all right, someone actually highlighted a paragraph in it and to the side wrote, if you have Miss Clarice as your science teacher, this is what you're looking for. Because apparently for like 5 years, she taught the exact same thing.
No, that's common for teachers. Okay, so
It ain't
acting.
broke.
Acting.
Garbage.
No one impressed.
Alright.
No one
All right,
impressed.
but
I wouldn't say
may I
bad acting, just nothing that stood out or was impressive.
Uninspired direction.
Go, Trey.
was
May I say
garbage.
one thing
Go, Trey.
about the acting? If you're going to blast this movie, blast the writers and the producers. The actors did nothing. All they did was do their job. Okay, they can do a horrible job, but ultimately, for if a movie's horrible, it's down to the writers and the producers. So fuck those guys.
And the director. Let's
And the
not
director,
forget,
sorry.
Forget
Yeah,
the
that's like
director.
blaming Hayden Christensen for being bad in Revenge of the Sith. No, that's the fucking director's fault.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
Okay,
I
but
just
then
wanted
on
to
the
say that.
flip
Go ahead.
side, you do have the guy who played Obi-Wan. What's his name?
Ewan
Ewan
McGregor.
McGregor?
Yeah.
You will not talk about Ewan
That's
McGregor
my
in my
point.
presence.
Ewan McGregor was
Ewan
great.
McGregor elevated the shit material.
Ewan McGregor was the
Slow
best
down.
part of that movie.
Hello there.
Hello, Ewan McGregor is here to seduce
General
you
Kenobi.
with his daddy beard.
Right?
Bro, if I could grow a beard like that, I would. Let's not even lie to
Speaking
ourselves.
of, what do you think of mine since I got it?
You are actually looking
Neck beard.
pretty good, actually. You
I
just
clean
gotta,
up nice.
you gotta clean up
Neck
a
beard.
little bit more.
Gotta
little bit
go-
more around there.
go
Yeah, this
below
was
the
a week
chin.
ago.
Yeah.
Gotta touch it up some.
Yeah,
you
touch
gotta-
it. Keep it trim, and you look good.
Trim below, then.
So there's a
Drowning
bit.
in the pussy.
There's a bit where she goes to a guy's house at like 9:00 at night, and his parents are gone, and they just start making out. Okay, so now this is like completely out of left field.
I'm
But-
calling slut.
Oh, and then, like,
and-
for
but-
some reason, like, he makes funny faces. Ooh, that's spooky.
But that's
going
exactly the
crazy,
thing.
and then-
His face starts freaking out because she's going crazy. I laughed. It was funny. It was fucking hilarious. Like, that was the one highlight of the movie for me because there was just, it wasn't scary because it was a well-lit den with big leather chairs and nice sexy music playing, and his face is
On vinyl records, the
On
music
vinyl
was
records.
playing.
Yeah.
on vinyl
Oh,
records.
and it somehow messed up on vinyl records.
Yeah, that's I mean,
I
guess you
never
could-
really.
I guess you could interfere with the amps, but like,
But no.
I mean, unless Slender just fucks with.
Well, I mean,
Anything
the
when he's
record,
around.
The record could have skipped.
No, that
okay.
was not skipping. It, like just straight
That
up, the
was not
sound got
skipping.
distorted.
No, I'm.
And
That's,
that wasn't
okay.
even speeding up. Like, distortion with no fucking no reasonable explanation why.
you guys seen It Follows?
No.
Okay, It Follows is about an invisible monster that only one person can see at a time, and you get the monster to chase someone else by having sex with them, and then it follows them, and the monster.
Can I have this
Wait, I'm
power?
sorry,
That'd be
what?
great.
No, because okay.
No, are you for real right
want-
now? That's how.
wait,
Do
wait,
you
wait,
want to live? Then we have to fuck.
No. Okay, so here's the problem, though. If the monster kills,
You just want that so you
stop,
can say that.
stop. If the monster kills the person you had sex with, then it comes back for you. So
Okay.
it's basically working down the chain of people who have had sex with whoever originally summoned
Trey, you
want
want to come back to my place?
Eat my dick.
No, but it's great because
That's
the
what he
mon.
wants to do.
Okay, so the monster walks really slowly, and the problem is that the monster it changes its appearance and can look like anyone. So unless you're really paying
Okay, hold
attention,
on. Only
in a
one
cr-
person can see it. Is it the person it's following?
Yes, that's
Okay.
the person who can see it. Okay, so, and this movie was a really good horror movie because the monster is just, you never know where it's going to pop up because it's constantly walking directly towards you. So your best hope is to hop in a car, drive to fucking Trenton, New Jersey, and then double back, and the monster will, like, pass you and be like, oh, gotta turn around and come back for you. You buy yourself some time with
Yeah,
that.
because that
Hold
thing's
on,
got
hold
like
on.
another hour before it can turn
Hold
around.
on, I gotta-
You got time.
I got a question though.
Yeah.
Can you just kind of like hop around the world and keep fucking people?
Well, the problem is once you fuck someone, then they're the ones who have to pass it on.
I know, not my fucking problem anymore. Bye.
Well,
Just
if
go to
they
Amsterdam,
if they die,
like,
then
find a
suddenly it's
prostitute.
your
Yeah.
because
Bye.
the monster kills the people it's following.
Well, here's the good
Yeah.
news. You won't have to wear protection anymore. They're gonna be dead soon.
So wait, hold on.
No,
hold
I
on.
like
No,
his
wait,
idea.
I've got an
I like
idea.
his idea. Find a prostitute
Find
in
a pro-
Amsterdam.
Yeah, then it goes all around the world and will never come back to you because the prostitute keeps on fucking people.
Okay, knowing my luck, it would end up finding its way back to me.
Okay, but there's
Yeah, but then you just go back to Amsterdam.
guys,
Perfect crime.
I'm just telling you guys about this movie. I'm telling you guys about this movie because It Follows is a really good horror movie that came out not too long
Did that.
ago
I'm
and
sorry,
does this
yeah.
way better. It does the whole like monsters following you thing way better. There's a bit where they're on the beach and the monsters. There's a bit where the monsters caught up with them and the camera isn't showing the monster because it's showing what all the people who can't see it are seeing, which is their friend being yanked into the air by some invisible monster. So her friend picks up a chair, whacks it to where he thinks the monster is standing. The chair breaks. He stares at it, and then apparently the monster kicks him because he goes flying.
I'd just be like, fuck you, I tried. What have you done?
Bam,
It's
bam, bam.
You just
Dead.
spat on me.
Sorry, buddy.
Okay, so
being
that
slut.
movie's amazing. This
Don't see this movie.
Slender is
Really,
awful.
just don't
It's
see
this
movie.
awful.
Let me put it like this: if you are high on some sort of substance and the movie is like $3, go ahead.
Or
and
if it's
laugh.
on Netflix.
no,
and
Or
not
you-
just
even
play the
$3.
fucking game and get a better experience with the exact same concept.
and the game isn't
Yeah,
even that
even-
good, but it's better than this.
Just like 6 months from now, just like go onto some stupid torrent site or whatever, download this movie and like project it to like 20 people, and then just laugh at the fucking thing because it doesn't even deserve any money.
Oh, I just thought of something. Okay, so you remember back at the beginning of the movie when they started the whole summoning? That one girl said, "What's the worst that could happen?"
Seriously? I missed that line.
All right, a buddy of mine, Cole. You remember Cole? You've met Cole. You've never met Cole.
Nope.
All right. Several years before I met him, he used to be on this forum for something or another. I don't remember. It's not important. Some dude went on there once, made a post about he found a book about occult summoning rituals. Said he was gonna stand in the mirror one night and try it. Worst case scenario, I'll look like an idiot.
Is this like when you look
Cole
at-
replies to that by saying, "No, that's best case scenario. Worst case is it worked and you just doomed the world, you idiot." And apparently the admins didn't like that and he got banned from the forums.
Oh, was it a spoopy form?
I
Of
don't.
course.
Probably.
Is this like looking in the mirror and saying Biggie Smalls 3 times?
I thought that was
Fucking
Bloody
that would be
Mary.
awesome.
It was Bloody Mary. I was making
They,
a joke.
someone made a joke about it being Biggie Smalls. What was that, Family Guy?
That was South Park.
South Park. Yeah, I don't care for South Park. But
I
Alright.
did not
Essentially-
like this movie at all.
Yeah, no.
we have differing
a lot
on
of
it. I
money.
think the only common one is the movie just is not good.
Now we all have to
How
go.
is that a differing opinion if we all think it's not good?
I mean, I think the setup worked. The execution just failed. You
I
think
think-
the build-up and
Okay.
everything failed.
End result
I
is
think that even the setup failed. I think like the concept was fucking stolen, and that's the only
Discount
reason why it was good.
discount Nightmare on Elm Street.
Definitely.
Discount Nightmare on Elm Street.
Definitely.
My opinion is I don't give a fuck, and we all need to go get drunk in order to compensate for all of this.
Well, I mean, the liquor stores are closed.
Oh,
now,
and the
so
previews
unless we're going
bef-
back to your place.
The
Or my
previews before this
Or
movie
that.
were weird. Like, I hadn't heard
There
of
was
half
only
these
one
movies.
good preview in all of these. And I think
Sorry.
that was the girl in the spider's web. Is that what it was
Yeah.
called?
Okay,
Yeah,
now that
uh,
looked interesting.
Wasn't that like
It was a continuation of the girl with the dragon tattoo.
I-
Is it an actual
Yeah.
Millennium? Really?
Yeah.
It might be. I'd
is.
have to. You're sure?
I mean, the title
Yeah,
does
okay.
sound like
Yeah.
it would be, but
Yeah, but
we'd
no,
have to
did
I
you
looked
see?
this
No,
up.
did you see her in the shower where she had the dragon tattoo?
I did
on
see
her
that,
left?
yeah,
no, I
that-
did
that's
see
the
that.
girl
I
with
did
the
not
dragon
see
tattoo.
Okay, so that actually
Yeah.
kind of looks
All of the
interesting.
other movies.
Millennium series. Hold
Yeah.
on.
All of the other movies right? All of the other movies during the previews
Yeah, it is.
were all just continuation,
Cheap
or all just
ass horror movies.
they were all shitty horror movies. With arguable exception of the Halloween.
Assassination Nation.
No,
That looked dumb.
that's so stupid.
Yeah.
It looked like the Purge
I say
crossed with
fuck you to
Spring
the
Breakers.
The only thing that I was actually like somewhat happy with was the continuation of the Halloween movie.
Jamie Lee Curtis back for a
Jamie Lee
Halloween
Curtis,
movie
yeah.
is I'm up for that.
I'm up for
Sure,
that.
I'll see it.
That's it.
I was kind of mad at the Nun because I liked that jump scare they ended on because
did too.
it was well like set up. It's like, oh, there's a thing following her. Is she going to notice?
That was
She
the Jurassic
turns-
Park
that was
Velociraptor
the-
strategy
she
right
She
there.
turns and does notice it, but then she's like,
Comes from the side.
no,
fuck are you?
like she's
The
like,
loudest
can I help you?
jump scare they could fucking make, and that was annoying.
But it was that's why it annoyed me because it's like, hey, that was a kind of a well executed jump scare. Thanks for putting it in the trailer.
That was the best one.
Great
That's why they
movie,
do it.
great movie that I saw. I'm really glad that I saw the Nun movie.
Yeah, I think I saw the best thing, and it's like, oh, it's related to The Conjuring and Annabelle. It's like, oh, you're fucking
Still
liars.
isn't the worst
That's
movie
called-
I've seen this year.
Fucking liars.
What was the worst movie you've seen this year?
Solo. I fucking hated
Oh,
that.
You
movie.
actually
Okay.
saw that?
Let's be
Yeah.
clear here.
Let's be
I did
clear
not
here.
pay for it.
I cannot
okay.
imagine
Slenderman-
a
He
world.
didn't pay for it. He didn't pay for it. I will give you a pass.
Slenderman objectively is worse than Solo.
Plotting, characters, acting,
Objectively.
everything. That like Solo has enough
Solo
money.
has a plot, therefore it's better than Slenderman.
The
Like,
reason I say Solo is worse is because Disney actively made an attempt to kill Star Wars with that.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
This is a different conversation.
I take that with
Different
massive
conversation.
vengeance.
This is a different conversation. So right now, if there's anything else you want to add to the horrible shit show that we now have to compensate with copious amounts of alcohol.
Yeah, Assassination Nation was the other
Party at
trailer
Trey's
that
house
stuck out to me.
or David's place, whichever.
Which
you
is-
both have alcohol.
Which is
Yeah,
basically Assassination
And I
Nation
don't have
looks
work
like
tomorrow.
The Purge plus Spring Breakers, and I don't want that.
It was.
No.
It was. Okay, basically.
I don't want to remember the Purge was a thing.
Apparently, the later movies were good. I don't think.
No, the Purge was
Assassination-
terrible.
The Assassination Nation movie that reminded me of oh shit. I just
Assassination
had it.
Classroom?
No, it reminded me of God. No, it reminded me of You remember during the '90s or the late '80s, early '90s, when there was all those nothing but like teenage movies, like 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club. Everyone was
Sure.
just getting pissed off at them, right? It reminds me of that, but plus the Purge. It's I know, right?
So what you're trying to say is Assassination Nation looks like Purge plus The Breakfast Club?
Yes.
I never saw The Breakfast Club.
Neither did I.
I never finished it.
I recently finished Lost Boys. That's surprisingly good, considering Joel Schumacher.
You know what was a good movie? Four Brothers. Mark Wahlberg.
I
No.
know. Mark Wahlberg's a racist shithead.
Moving
What?
on.
Okay.
Are we
Not
Not on
we
done
camera.
tonight?
Later, you're gonna have to show me proof on that because bullshit.
Documented.
Moving on.
All
Anything
right.
else?
No, Slenderman sucks.
This movie just was not.
Don't say
And
that.
we went into this expecting it to be
The
bad.
bar
and
was low.
The
And
bar
it-
was
and it
low,
made it
and they
worse.
still fucking
They
didn't
Like, we
do-
tried to play
didn't get
limbo with
over it.
this bar, and we ended up just going to the fucking floor.
and I need back surgery
The
after it.
bar was on the floor, and it still didn't.
All right,
make
I'm
it
running
over.
out of juice. Jay, you're gonna have to do your scale real quick.